Hey guys, I wanted to focus on two topics today, which are very focused on in society and especially media these days, and those two topics are relationships and body image. And to start off, let's talk about relationships, and which are very important to me. I don't always make too many relationships, but when I make them, I hold on to them. It's very hard for me to let go of them, which is often put me in a tough spot when it comes to people that are negative influences in my life and that God doesn't want to have in my life. And I find that in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, the thing that people dread most hearing from their friends or from their family is that they are settling for their partner. And I think that it puts us in this state of fear and wanting to take control and find this perfect person that's good looking and smart and treats them well and does this and that and the other, and all to please the people around them so that they don't have to hear that they're settling for a certain relationship. I think that whenever me personally, I have tried to take control of a relationship and try to make it into something that it wasn't, it didn't only affect me, but it also affected the person that I was with negatively, because sometimes the people that you are with are not supposed to be what you want them to be, and they're supposed to be created into their own person. They have their own plan with God, and trying to make them into something they aren't hurts you and the other person, and it'll ultimately destroy your relationship. So I had really been praying about this for a really long time, and I needed God to give me an answer because I had let go of a couple relationships that were not good for me, and it put me in a state of loneliness, actually. I ended up very alone, but luckily I have my sister Amanda. Her and I became really close. But in every other aspect of my life, I felt really alone, and it got into a really low and dark place in my life, and I really searched for answers. And God really spoke to my heart and said very clearly to me that when I give Him control over my life, He will make sure that I never settle for. And in fact, He will take my expectations of what I need and what I want in my life, and He will surpass my expectations and make sure I'm more than satisfied with my relationships, with my lifestyles, and with my life partner. And it really causes me to have to trust in God, especially to present day. I struggle with loneliness, and luckily I have my sister to lean on, and I think it's very important that you find somebody that you can get close to and lean on, and also that is what we are here for as well, so that you can talk to us and lean on us. If you ever feel lonely, you can reach out to us, and we will always be here for you, so that you don't backslide and that you can always keep pushing forward and keep climbing forward, because that is where God is. He is in front of you always. He is beside you. He is always pushing you to push yourself and go further in your relationship with Him and your relationship with yourself, which also leads me into body image. And it really hurts me today to see that the body image of men and women is being so skewed, and what is important is not being focused on, and what's important is not the size of your butt or your chest or your muscles or how good your face looks or how clear your skin is or how long your hair is, what type of hair you have. I think that magazines and music videos and TV are skewing the view of what people are supposed to focus on and how they're supposed to be satisfied in their body. And I think that your body is a temple of Christ, and He lives in your heart, and you are supposed to keep it up to date like it is the temple of God. You are supposed to take care of yourself physically and also mentally, but we are so bombarded with these images of women that have these so-called perfect bodies, but we all know that they are photoshopped. And even with that fact in our minds, it still hurts. And it also hurt me, and I had to really filter what I took in as a person on my Instagram and on my Facebook. I had to unfollow a couple people that I followed because they would just always throw these models that are absolutely beautiful. And at first I didn't notice that I had become self-conscious about myself, because I would be like, wow, she's gorgeous. And then I wanted to start, looking that way, and I could never feel that way. And it started to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. And that really hurts to see that is what we focus on, is, okay, I have to look like this beautiful woman, or I have to look at this strong, chiseled man, and you feel like you can never get to that place. And what's funny is I actually, on TV the other day, saw a makeup artist, and he said that women look at these magazines and these perfect models and say that they could never look like this. And he said, well, of course you can't look like that. It took a whole army to make this woman look like this. You can't look like that on a day-to-day basis. But this is what people throw at us at a day-to-day basis. And it leads to the point that I'm trying to make, which is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you will find your beauty in whatever you allow to behold it. And what helps me come back to who I am and centers me in my focus is letting God be the beholder of my beauty. Knowing that God sees me as perfect, and he sees me as his masterpiece and his beautiful, beautiful daughter. It really uplifts my spirit, knowing that he sees me as clean and not as a sinner, and not as, what I often feel. And he will always expect more of me and believe more of me. And that is what really keeps me going and gets me through my self-consciousness, and knowing the truth and not believing the lies that Satan throws at us every day, which is, you're not good enough, you'll never look like this, you'll never be perfect. But those are in his eyes, and Satan's eyes do not matter. These world's eyes do not matter. God's eyes matter. He is the one we are going to be spending eternity with, and he sees you as perfect. So you're perfect.